So y'all want me to do something new? Alright. There's one I've been cooking up in my mind since the day one I saw Tien. That's right. We're doing my boy. My baby boy. Hit that. Alright. Let's get straight into it. One thing that we gotta settle. Tien. Tien is going to be like the TFS version of Tien. He ain't gonna be subdued no more. Some shit's gonna happen to him, okay? This is real life we're talking about. This ain't no Dragon Ball universe. This is going to be 100% more real. It's going to be much more real. This universe, Tien is much more resilient to, it's aliens. I mean, how the hell did we expect him to not go out into outer space and copy all their new techniques? He literally would have thousands by now. That's why they didn't go to space. And it was always bullshit. I'll tell you why I'm doing this. First of all, is because it's bullshit in the first place. Because once Goku came down from the heavens from training for 3 years to stop, I think it's 3 years, to stop Piccolo, Tien was like, okay, that's cool, you're stronger now, I'll just go, be a sub-character and never speak again. See you, Goku. No, this one's gonna be much more assertive. This one's gonna be, actually, this one is going to be the protagonist. He is going to earn. What? Oh yeah, we're doing this. He's gonna be the protagonist. Let's get right into it. Alright. Tien. Okay, now everybody should know Tien at least. My buddy boy, my main man, he so muscular. Yeah, they never show him ever. Come on. I'm gonna make him my main character. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. How are they gonna survive? You'll see. You'll just have to stick around for it. Now, Chaozu and him walking along one day. Okay. So, Tien. He's not going to, change instantly, okay? Sure, he's going to be much more badass and he's going to, actually put himself into the, problem and solve it. Like he should. Just ignore him. Perfectly should be. So he still gets beat up by Piccolo. Now, this is to say that Piccolo is a strong being at the time and, he still gets bitched out. This time he's a lot more resilient to Piccolo's, beat downs, but he still gets his ass kicked in, pretty much. Now, Piccolo, this time does not, he basically almost kills him because he's much more resilient, and that means that he would, because he said in the original that, if you're more resistant, I would kill your ass any day, but I'll have to be gentle this time. That he mocks him. He straight up just crushes him into the ground. He just humiliates him. Destroys his ego and his pride of being one of the strongest Earth's defenders. He wanted to be the very best. He wanted to be stronger than Goku. He proved himself as stronger than Goku, and now he gets saved by Goku. Goku fights Piccolo, does the same thing, and Tien is just left close to death, honestly. But to say that Kid Goku did give him a sense of being. But while he was sitting on the ground, he was just in his head. He was just thinking, I'm weak. Being the best in the world, that's not. Will I ever be the best? Goku. The hell are you? I'm just a human. You have a tail, whatever the hell that does for you. I don't know. It just feels unfair. Goku, I'm sorry. I couldn't save the world. Please, in my stead. Please destroy him. My life has been destroyed by him. My pride, my ego, everything I hold dear is making him. He killed Chaozu. Please, kill him. Of course, Goku doesn't want to kill him, but this time he makes an exception for Tien. Now, this doesn't change anything, but it does mean that Goku is a lot more, connected with Tien. So, yeah, and he falls to the floor, and he's given a sensu beam, but that doesn't. He only had 3, so it was half one. So he basically just watched as he was saved. This is just devastating to Tien. So he trains even harder than he did before. He starts his dojo faster, and before you know it, in the 3-year time lapse between the next tournament, when Tien comes back, he's already a master of his martial arts. He's already done it all. He wants to prove himself as still the strongest. So you see that fight between Tien Shinhan. Now he's gotten a lot more buffer, and he's much more calm. There's an aura of this calming crane. He's much more delicate. When Goku got there, he barely even heard him walking in to the other side. And he's wearing the same, outfit, as he was later after the holy practice. Training. So yeah, he's just basically much more stronger than he was in the original. I would say around, almost equal. 25 more power than before, I'm pretty sure. I forgot the power levels. It's been a while. But yeah. And he's like, Goku, make this interesting, please. I'll prove to you that I'm not someone just to be saved. Now, please, let's fight. Getting in his usual stance. Much more graceful this time. Now Goku's like, all right, let's go, Tien. And they start fighting without the even tournament beginning. They want to fight already, because everybody feels their power. This is the 2 strongest people on the planet. And they almost ignore Piccolo, and this gets Piccolo angry, and he jumps in "Yours, my angstiness is being challenged. I must attack, and I must defend it." But yeah, so they all start staring each other down. Well, more Tien and Goku are just kind of eyeing each other up, and then bug-eyeing, Piccolo. And Tien doesn't even know what the hell's going on with the whole Piccolo thing. But once he remembers the egg that was spit out, he's like, oh shit. That's the egg? To cut through the silence, the stare down between all 3 of these massive powers that are, commanding basically the Earth themselves, Kami just kind of daintily walks in oh, you boys. And you. Kind of eyeing up Piccolo. This is obviously Kami in disguise as Chun-Li, I think his name was. But kind of breaking the silence, and being like, you have to wait your turn. And the announcer's like, yeah, what the old man said. You guys gotta stop, okay? Wait your turns. Draw your ballads. Piccolo's like, you want to say that again, Scrap? Or whatever, 5-year-old bully would say. He is 5 years old. Hold up, he's a 5-year-old? Okay, I'm just going to touch on the fact that he's a 5-year-old and beating up Goku. Just saying. Overpowered a little bit. But yeah, then he kind of threatens the announcer, but Tien's already there, like holding his hand, like, of course you would. I should have killed you as I saw you. And yet, Kami interjects again because he knows that Piccolo is still pretty strong, even though he knows that Tien's been training like fucking hell. And, kind of stops that. And he's like, Tien, remember, calm yourself. He's like, whatever, old man. Flicks his arm away, like, yeah, you better. Now they draw their ballots, and it's the same thing as before. 13:22. All right. Sorry about that. Sorry about the skips. Damn, Norma. Now, what was I at? Oh yeah, Tien Shinhan still gets that awesome freaking scar. This time he almost kills Starbird Tao, just like with the Dodon Ray. Dodon Ray. Let's just say Dodon. But like he still lets him live. He's a little bit more angered this time, so it's fine. And that's his only fault. Next fight would be before the huge Goku versus Piccolo fight. Goku and Tien still fight. Now this fight is huge. I mean, Tien is what, like 38 under his power, right? That's like 130 at this time. And but he's still keeping up with Goku. At the start how he usually kept up with Goku? Yeah, this time it's like he's going faster than Goku, and he's like, I know that you're holding back. Stop holding back! While he hits him in the neck, like paralyzing one of his arms for like 2 seconds, and starts beating the shit out of him, and then gets a really big axe hand over the head, banging him into the ground. And he's like, from the ground, Goku's like, fine. No, and he's like, if I was an enemy, I would have killed you by now. And Goku's like, I know. Man, Tien, do you really have to do me like that? He starts taking off the shirt and stuff, and this time Tien's a little bit less impressed, but still he's like, okay, yeah, that's some training. I mean, I've been under waterfalls and shit, but that's some cool. That's I don't know if I could do that, but I mean, my muscles already weigh as much as that. No lie. So Goku's like, now the real fight starts. Kame, Hame, and it's like Dodonpo, and that beam clash happens, but the Dodonpo is a little bit less powerful, so he starts losing a little bit just because of his focus being off because of his rage. And he kind of dodges to the left of it while Goku gut punches him, which is a pretty dirty move by Goku. And then he starts a meteor rush, arcing him up in the air. He's literally keeping him up in the air just by punching him. But when he looks at Tien, he's like, gotcha. And he's had rock, paper, scissors from his old... You remember the rock, paper... Everybody remembers the rock, paper, scissors. You know what I'm talking about. And when he goes for the scissors in the eyes, Tien still has his one open. He's like, gotcha. And he had used so much stamina doing that Tien, he didn't notice that Tien had his hands behind him charging up a Kikoho and hit him in the middle of the air with the Kikoho with the Four Witches technique. And that hits Goku hard. He goes flying, and right before he hits the ground, he uses his pole. I'm pretty sure you can use pole. You can use weapons in the martial arts. I think you could, but yeah, he uses that to push himself right back onto the stage. He's like, lucky I kept this. And Tien comes in with a soaring flying, a soaring kick, but he's really beaten up, and he's planning on that defeating him. So he comes in with a flying kick because he was super surprised, but he still had his one eye. Kicks him off almost, but Goku grabs onto his leg and throws him over himself, and he hits the ground before Goku does. Although he forgot how to fly for 2 seconds because of his rage. And he's actually really mad after this, but he tries to calm himself. And that's it. Goku wins. Nice fight, Tien. Don't plagiarize me. I mean, pen, whatever he said. Don't patronize me. Oh, come on, it was a good fight. He's like, we can agree on that. Still, a ring out is not an honors, and not an honorary way to go out for a warrior. I would have drawn it out, but I'm pretty sure you would have defeated me. You got one thing right. Whatever, Goku. Doesn't matter. Next year. I swear on it. Swear on it. He leaves kind of stubbornly. He's kind of mad, but Chaozu's like, you're good, Tien. It's fine. We'll get him next year. He's like, you don't understand. I spent all of my energy. God damn it. I trained like hell. How did he get stronger? Everything I did was in that year. Especially with launch. She only started like a year ago. God damn. Yeah, she's pretty persistent. Luckily, we can go invisible, though. Only short amounts of time, though, you know? Yeah, I know. Well, if only you could get stronger, Chaozu. Counting on it. Counting on it. And Kami's kind of at the front, like, don't let your rage guide you. And he's like, shut the fuck up, old man. Just, like, leaves. Kami's like, that guy's mean. Just, like, walks up, like, then he fights Piccolo, and, you know, the whole jar ceiling thing happens. Tien kind of left the tournament because he already knew that Goku was going to win. Because he didn't expect much out of Piccolo. I mean, it's Piccolo. Come on. Nobody really cares about Piccolo. Especially Tien. He hates outside. That's the difference between him and the old one. Is that this one is much more, like, unconcerned, but also is kind of like, you know, he has an air of, like, wisdom to him, but he's also, like, kind of hates aliens. So he just doesn't really care about Piccolo at all. Like, even if he does beat Goku, he's still there. So, you know, he's going to learn to be more calm later. Now, the Goku and the Piccolo fight go on the same, except Goku's much more injured from that tri-beam that hit him. Oh, that must have hurt like hell. So, yeah, it's a little bit more equal, but Goku still sacrifices his arm, like his arm by breaking it to do the body pound. And Goku's like, damn it, how did he get stronger? I know that fool doesn't train as hard as I do. What did you do differently? That old man. And Chaozu's like, yeah, that old guy. He's like, Kami, was it? He goes back to the stage and he picks up that bottle that Goku talked to him about, like told him like to get the bottle because like they forgot it. Because Piccolo spit it up and then they just forgot about it. So they're like, hey, Tien, could you pick it up? He's like, of course I am. I'm just a side character, aren't I? This whole universe of his. I'm nothing but just a useful tool. Used to show how powerful the enemies are. He picks up the bottle. He's like, there's a guy in here. I don't want to be carrying him around everywhere. Chucks it at the ground, and Kami appears out and is like in his natural form now. He's like, what the fuck? Piccolo gets it back and starts up a Dodon Ray. But Kami's like, oh, thank God. Thank you. He's like, oh, well, this is awkward. Aren't you Demon King Piccolo? He's like, no, I'm Kami. What? God. Sorry. You're a god? The hell? He's like, yeah. You may know me from Goku. What are you to Goku? I'm his trainer. I trained him this last year. That's how. He picks up Kami like, you're gonna teach me how to become stronger, okay? I'm gonna defend the world real well this time. No more mistakes. No more mistakes. I won't lose to that idiot Goku anymore. and you're gonna teach me how. He's like, you have much rage in you. Hear that old man from before. You're very perceptive. Nah, just Chaozu told me. He's like, fuck. Well, both of you want to be stronger. I can help. That's what I like to hear. Now, you need to. And, like, they go to his lookout and stuff. For the next 5 years, he will train with Kami. Now he figures out about the time time chamber. Time chamber is interesting because Goku didn't go in it before because he was just a kid and he wasn't very experienced with it. Like originally, it wasn't really good for somebody to be in there alone. So they needed somebody else, and that's why all the Z fighters went in there together, but came out pretty like beaten up, pretty sad. It was all around a bad idea. So, but this Tien's his belief in himself is shattered, but he's also much more, resilient to stuff like death. Like, because he doesn't have as much pride in him now. He's much more, willing to go out and fight like instantly. Like before, he only watched Goku because of his pride of like not 2v1ing somebody, not ganking. It'd be unfair. That's not how Tien Shin Han does it. He is a respectful, um, he's a respectful guy, okay? But now he's not. And the time machine, it seems like a dirty trick to them before, but now he's like, nah, let me in. And Popo's like, I don't think that you really want to do this. He's like, nah. Tries to bitch slap Piccolo Popo. He's like, what did you just try to do? Oh, Kami gets bitch slapped off the freaking off the tower the first day because he was trying to force his way into the thing, and he's like, and Popo's like, Kami, how about this little one? Chaozu's like, oh god, like shitting his pants practically, just like, oh no, like, are you gonna try your luck? And he's like, no, I'll just wait for Tien, as you should. And Tien climbs back up, and like, that happens. So Korin kind of hates him because he's kind of a dick. But over the 5 years of that time skip towards the actual Saiyan arc, Tien gets trained by Kami. And each day, he's like, I want to go in the time machine. I want to go in the time machine. And, Kami's like, no one's ready. Nobody in this world is ready to go in this time machine. And he's like, if I train with you for 3 years, will you let me go in? And he's like, 3 years? If Goku won't, you could. You're the next best thing, I guess. Next best thing, old man? Come on! Look at me! I'm jacked as shit! You're not jacked enough. Bitch, look at me. It's just like, and after the time skip, he will become fucking stacked. Pancake stacked. I mean, like, I ain't gay, but goddamn. He, right there. Heavenly warrior. So after the 3 years, he's training a lot. And Kami's like always asking him, like, I think that you're ready to fight Piccolo now. He's like, nah. We gotta be. I ain't gonna have my pride broken again. And this happens every year until the 3rd year. And he's like, finally, I get to go in there, get all this training shit done in 2 years. And Kami's like, I don't think this is a good idea. Tien's like, nonsense. Don't worry about it. All right. And Kami's like, you can defeat Piccolo now. You can defeat the biggest problem on this planet. He's like, trust me, it'll be fine. And by the third year, he's much more like heavenly. He's a heavenly warrior now. He's much more respectable and disciplined. He's also a dick on the inside. He has this front. You see, he'll be very respectful towards other fighters, but other people not so much. And once he goes in the time machine, they're like, well, he's either dead or dying. What do you bet, Kami? Oh, Mr. Popo. You shouldn't. $20. Piccolo's like, match. And they're just out of it. What do they even do? Do they play cards? Do they do anything else? I don't know what they do up there. What is there to do on heaven? But Chaozu goes in with him. And Chaozu comes out after like 5 minutes and he's like, Tien, he needs a refill. Oh my god, Chaozu. You got your ass beat, didn't you? Yeah, he's a little bit mad. Why? How so? While he's like refilling like the water tank or something. Chaozu's like, he's not quite, there anymore. You get a little bit kooky while you're inside. And not 5 minutes, I mean like 2 hours. He comes out for refills and he's like, yeah, after 5 months, you get a little bit insane. And Kami's like, well, damn, like he can't stick to your training. I'm sorry, my training. Force it upon him then. And Popo's like, here you go. Gives him the food and capsules and shit. And he's like, I don't want to go back in. Then he steps through reluctantly. Now, Launch finds out that it's up there. For 3 years, she's been waiting for this shit. She's been like, I gotta get up there. Trying to, like, I can imagine. And then she's finally complaining about this to Bulma for, like, the 80th time. Like, man I love is ignoring me. I hate that thing. The man I love is ignoring me. And Bulma's like, oh my god. Just take the car. Just like take the flying car. And she's like, thank you, thank you, thank you. Just bring it back, okay? Don't just crash it. As I know you would. That's why I ignored you for about 2 years. Ugh. Launch flies up to the lookout, jumping off like a madman. Like a like a mad lad. Sporting a Uzi. She jumps down like, where's he at? They're like, he's not here. Because they know that Launch, he was like, if Launch comes here, you guys say nothing. Nothing. And Launch is like, oh, really? I've been scouring the world for about 2 years now. And he's nowhere. Not like 2 years. She's exaggerating. Like, what? She's been looking for him, kind of. She's been worrying about him, really. But it sounds bad. That's what I'm trying to say. She says it in a really creepy way. They're like, no, he's not up here. No, not at all. She's like, shit. And looks towards the huge door that I don't know how anybody misses, especially Cell. It's like, and they're all like, it stores all of our food. She's like, oh, really? You mind if I take a snack? She opens up the door and they're like, shit. And he's like, where are you? And she like goes into it and she's like, where am I? And she's looking around this huge world that's just full of all the stuff that Tien had imagined to try to train against. It's just endless bodies of Goku. Like Goku and King Piccolo. Bodies of them. and there's like stacks on stacks on stacks of them. This is what, like a year in? Tien's like practically gone a little bit insane because of how just like the mental capacity that you need to be in this in the time frame that you need to be in. It's just insane. It's the mental capacity that you need is insane. I don't know how Goku survived that. Like what? It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, he's like sitting on top of like a crown of just like Goku's heads there, and she's like, "This is interesting." And he's like, "Launch?" And she's like, "Oh hey," and then like Chiaotzu's like, "Oh thank God, another human being." And he's like, "You're not a human being," and he's like, "You don't know that." And he's like, "I know that." She's like, "I don't know that." And like, "Shut up. What are you doing here?" He's like, daily training is him just destroying Goku. She's like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "Training." It's crazy because she's like, "Okay, mind if I stick around?" He's like, "Hell no." And she's like, all right, I'll wait. She just sits there for the next year. She just sits there waiting for his answer. You know, just looks around the world of his liking. Like the original world was supposed to be your fears, all of your fears, and his fear was being the weakest. That was his biggest fear, and losing Chiaotzu. So Chiaotzu's having a horrible time trying to survive, but he's also gaining a lot of strength. Not strength, more like strategery. Him and Chiaotzu have practiced a lot together. He had to protect Chiaotzu because his worst fear is of Chiaotzu dying. One of his worst fears is of Chiaotzu dying. So, you know, there's plenty of things that are going to kill Chiaotzu. So he has to defend Chiaotzu like half the day, and then the other half of the day is trying to climb up the power ladder of the day that just creates a whole new separate universe of powerful fighters that he has to fight through. And most of them are just the face of Goku, you know? He's like, oh god, it's like OC's up in here. All these Saiyans. And, you know, Launch is kind of freaked out, but she's like finding this place interesting actually. And she uses her shotgun to like sneak attack some of them. And, you know, Tien's like, damn, she's really willing to go through this whole huge universe of, you know, powerful fighters and still come out surviving just to be my girlfriend. You know, sometimes I get tired of fighting all the time. I actually had an original goal of sitting down and having a nice discussion with the girl I liked. Chuds is like, well, well, Launch is back there. Well, I don't know where she is now, but, you know, why don't you go talk to her? Jan's like, but then my worst fear will become losing her. Then nothing will matter anymore. Because if I lose her, I don't know what I'd do. Jesse's like, well, it's better living and loving than never loving at all. You know, little guy, for the first time, you're actually right. Hey. Like scuffing his face. You know how he has like that huge big brother tone to it, like you know, like Chutsu the little brother. Yeah, it's like that. So he does go, you know, talk to, and they become like actual friends, and you know, becoming his girlfriend. Although she's a bit creepy, just a bit, like a bit possessive. But after he comes out, you know, he's much more. He sounds like a '80s movie guy when he comes out of like a time machine and stuff. Like all badass and shit, and he has like a new girlfriend that he got from the whole endeavor that he just went through. You know, like that's Tien right now. Badass, like his hair flowing in the wind. And Kami's like, I think you're ready to fight Piccolo. And he's like, God damn it, how did you say that again? Oh, fine, I'll fight him. Like, that's how Tien is in this time. But yeah, Kami's like, well, that'll have to do it for this episode. Or what if? I will see you guys. I don't know when. Probably tomorrow. That's where I'll upload. Remember Tien. I think. Tien's. Bye.